It's not every day that Toyota comes out with a new RAV4. In fact, this is the 6th generation of RAV4, one of the best-selling cars in Australia. And there is a lot to like about the new Toyota RAV4, like its new styling. It's got a really different interior. Drivetrain has been upgraded in some good ways, but also some kind of bad ways. So I guess that's a downgrade. And it is built on the same platform as before, but there have been lots of nips and tucks, enough that Toyota say that this is all new. It's an all new generation. But is the 6th generation RAV4 worth your hard-earned cash? Well, today I'll tell you all about it. We're here at a proving ground, and I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about the new RAV4 before it arrives imminently-ish. Let's get into it.
Okay, sorry for the random interruption. I filmed this about 2 months ago and they've finally released pricing. I wish they just told us pricing at the time, but they probably were still going through factory negotiations. Let's just quickly talk about it. So actually across the range, prices are up between $3,000 to $7,000, and that doesn't account for the new variants in the range. So it now starts at $45,990 for the GX two-wheel drive. That is very much a base spec. It's actually gone up by almost 10%, about $4,000 versus before, which I guess kind of makes sense for an all new generation. The Edge that we're actually looking at in this video used to be the off-roader, the kind of more hardcore, but also towards the top of the range. It's actually $3,000 less expensive, but it comes with less spec as a result. And then of course you have the plug-in hybrid. So the plug-in hybrids start for a two-wheel drive PHEV at 58,840 Australian dollars before on-road costs, which is a lot of money. If you go for the XSE all-wheel drive plug-in hybrid, that's $63,340 before on-road costs. And if you want the GR Sport all-wheel drive plug-in hybrid, man, that's $66,340 Australian dollars before on-road costs. So really, out of your pocket, you'll be spending over 70 grand for one. And just to put that into perspective, a BYD Sealion 6, the top of the range premium all-wheel drive, it has both more power, more torque, and a bigger battery, and is just 52,990 Australian dollars drive away. So versus the two-wheel drive XSE, which to be fair is a pretty high spec for the RAV4, it's still gonna be about $10,000 cheaper on the road. If you wanna read more about the pricing and specs, I'll leave a link to our article down below. But yeah, pricing, this thing ain't cheap. Let's get back to the video.
Under the skin, this is the same RAV4 as before. It's still built on the TNGA-F platform. There's been some extra spot welds under the skin and some upgrades to the drivetrain, but really the fundamentals of the car have not really changed, but they have changed the way that this thing looks quite dramatically. Even though dimensionally it's very similar to before, I'll put that up on the screen now, it does look a lot better. I do like the new hammerhead design language that kind of goes into these headlights. They do look very cool. Cool daytime running lights, bright LEDs too. This is the Edge trim, which used to be top of the range, but they've kind of reshuffled it for Australia. This more off-roadery spec, if you want to call it that, is actually now smack bang in the middle. I do love how like boxy and angular it is too. It just looks more aggressive, less bubbly than I think it did before. And if you're wanting something a bit more aggressive in looks, hey, maybe the new RAV4 is for you. Let me know what you guys think though of the way that this thing looks, particularly from the front, down the comment section below. Let's check out the side. Now, if you cut off like from here and from the back, it kind of looks like a RAV4 from the side from before. Really, they haven't changed all too much, but that's not a bad thing. I don't think there needed to be many changes with the current RAV4. These are 18-inch alloy wheels, and I like how they're blacked out here on this spec. You've got your scratchy black plastics. You have your mirror cap here, but there is no 360 camera, which is kind of crazy. Keyless entry and go tinted privacy glass here as well. This one's actually been used for a bit of accessories testing, so we have some accessories on the car as well. But otherwise, very stock standard RAV4. There isn't much to talk about. It is just a family SUV. Oh, actually, let's check this out. Not quite Honda CR-V levels of door width opening, which is not that great when you're loading in kids. Let's check out the back. Okay, what about the bum of the RAV4? I'll be honest with you in that it looks the same to me as a Subaru Forester, and I get a lot of X-Trail Nissan vibes here. So I don't know if they all use the same designer for the back of these things, but yeah, I don't mind the way it looks. It just looks very similar to some other SUVs from Japan. It means you get these pretty big rear tail lights here. I do like RAV4 spelt out there. A tiny Toyota badge as well. Yes, badges are shrinking. The hybrid badge there too. And some more off-roady bumpers here for the Edge. By the way, you can now get this as a GR Sport. And to me, that is the coolest one. And I think probably to a lot of you as well. It's even got a 10mm wider track width for better cornering, which is just interesting. Let me know what you guys think of the GR Sport in particular. Let's check out bum space, because according to some sources, it has technically shrunk 516 litres of boot space. We'll have to wait to see what the final specs are when they actually are released in Australia. But the current one has about 540 litres of boot space, still massively usable. It's actually extremely practical space, so don't believe everything you read. You've also got a spare tyre under the floor, which is really good to see. And of course, you can drop the seats as well. But a practical space, and it does feel like a practical SUV. Let's check out my favorite part of this car though, which is the interior. Alrighty guys. Interior now of the new RAV4, and I've got to say, it's a really, really cool place to be. It feels almost quite futuristic, just the way that they've kind of cut into the dash, and it is all nice and soft touch, or at least in most places it is, and interesting use of materials as well. I did like the previous RAV4's interior because it was simple, had cool things like rubberized knobs. They have gotten rid of that, which is interesting because that was one of the things that we all loved about it, but hey, I guess they've replaced it with some other buttons, which you can't turn in the same way, but still a really cool cabin to be. I've got to say, the big downside for me is actually here in the infotainment display, because they've integrated the air conditioning controls into it. It's never my favorite thing when manufacturers do that, because when you do, it just makes things a little bit more complicated when it doesn't need to be. I'm all for physical buttons, but hey, let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section below. It is still a really good infotainment display. It's very, very snappy. It's much better than before. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and I guess at least you have a physical volume knob still, so that is a good thing. This steering wheel, now this is nice. It feels really good to hold on to in the hands. You have buttons here to control pretty much everything, and it's very intuitively laid out. Up in front of you as well is this new digital instrument cluster, which feels very odd for Toyota. It feels like they're in the 21st century, which is not something you can always say, but it's good dials and they're quite responsive and snappy. So yeah, I quite like that as well. Here in the center, there's a bit going on, but I've got to show you this little party trick. So if you press this, it will open up your center armrest, but check this out. They've gone an extra step, and you can now completely take it out, turn it around, and when you do that, well, you have a little storage tray that you can put things on or work on. It's interesting. It's probably not necessary, but kind of cool that they've integrated it here, and you just don't often see innovation in this class, frankly. A couple of cup holders here as well. The glove box is also a pretty big size, a little storage area there too, and the seat. So they've completely redesigned the seats. They're kind of a bit less grabby, but I like that. They're a bit more loungy, just feel more comfortable in my opinion. And by the way, you'll see buttons here like trail and snow, normal. That is because this is the all-wheel drive, and they've updated some of the traction control systems to just be a little bit better off-road. But yeah, the interior feels nothing like the old one. In a lot of ways, it feels way better, but in some ways it does feel like they've kind of regressed to doing things that we don't like to see, like removing most of your buttons for the air conditioning controls. Very interesting. Let's check out the back seats. Alrighty guys, back seats now of the new RAV4, and I've got to say, it's really nice back here. At 5'11", I've got heaps of legroom. Toe room as well is pretty good. Headroom is also good. It does still feel maybe not the best in class, like a Haval H6 is actually way more space in the back, but still, it feels nice, and the perceived quality back here is also very good. You've got a couple of 15-watt USB-C ports here and a couple of air vents as well. Got this fold-down center armrest with a couple of cup holders and map pockets, and I like this too. You can recline the back seats. Feels suitably Toyota back here. Just like it can feel suitably awesome to get the best deal on your next new car. Just scan the QR code on your screen now, and that will take you to CarSauce Buy, our car buying service where we have a team of car buyers who go out and negotiate for the best price possible on any new car. Thousands of you have used the service where we get you the best price with cars that are actually in stock, and it is completely obligation free. You do not have to pay anything until you commit to purchasing the car and you are happy with the deal. So that sounds good to you. Make sure you scan the QR code on your screen now or Google CarSauce Buy. Let's talk about what's under the bonnet. All right, let's talk about powertrains now, because it's actually a weird story. You see here under this one, this is the 2.5 litre hybrid engine, not the plug-in hybrid. We'll come back to that. It used to be 163 kilowatts of power, but now it's 143 kilowatts of power. Toyota say that it's because of the new 5th generation hybrid system, which is more efficient than before and apparently provides similar performance. I have actually driven this thing. I can't tell you about it yet, so make sure you are subscribed because in a couple of days we'll be releasing that video letting you know how it drives. But essentially they've made this thing apparently more efficient without sacrificing on power, despite power being down. Now, why did they do that? Because we get the European drivetrain, essentially. In the US, they have an uprated power version. It's like 170 kilowatts, but yeah, we don't get that here in Australia because of emissions. But everything's more lubricated, it's got bigger, more powerful electric motors, and it is more efficient. Apparently. There is also a plug-in hybrid variant that is finally coming to Australia. It is the 6th generation of plug-in hybrid system from Toyota, and it's actually extremely powerful. If you go for the all-wheel drive, it puts out 227 kilowatt of power, which is a lot of power. Toyota do not provide us with torque figures, so I can't comment on that. But you will also be able to get it as a front-wheel drive only, and that has 200 kilowatt of power. So still very, very healthy. And it has a claimed range of up to 100 kilometers if you go for that two-wheel drive. So actually quite a competitive system when you compare it to something like a BYD Sealion 6, and that is because it gets a 22.7 kilowatt hour battery as well. Lithium ion is all they're saying. So under the bonnet, it is just a bit of a mixed bag. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it should have more power? And make sure you are subscribed, as I said, because I can let you know exactly what I think of how it drives in just 2 days. Let's get into our final thoughts. Alrighty guys, final thoughts on the new RAV4. Should you be rushing out to buy one? Well, to be honest, in a lot of ways, I do like the current generation of RAV4. However, this does iterate on it in a lot of good ways. That interior in particular is really fantastic. Me personally, I don't mind that it's a little bit less powerful, especially if that does mean that it is more efficient. Make sure you are subscribed because I'm allowed to tell you my thoughts on how this thing drives in just a couple of days, so I'll let you know soon. And of course, if you want to buy a RAV4 now or in future, make sure you scan the QR code on your screen now or just Google CarSauce buy. My dedicated team of car buyers will go out there, negotiate on your behalf, and get you the best price possible. Thousands of you have used it, and you clearly love it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section about the RAV4. Ciao for now.